To zoom in on an image, press the play button, then press the enter button, then press and hold the ISO button while turning the main command dial to select an area that will be magnified. Then release the ISO button to see the magnified area. At this point, you can use the multi-selector to view different parts of the photo. Knowing these principles, you can get just the look with the proper exposure you want. But enough photographic theory, let's show you how your camera makes it easy to do these things. On your mode dial, there are basic exposure settings, which are completely automatic, and other, more creative exposure settings, giving you varying levels of control over your exposure. Let's start with the basics, or what Nikon calls the digital Vari-Program modes. You have already used the full auto mode. The next one is the portrait mode. In portrait mode, the camera will set the aperture for wide open, creating a very short depth of field. Then it will adjust the shutter speed as necessary to estimate a proper exposure. This blurs the background as we discussed earlier. Once you set this mode, simply point and click. A tip, these digital Vari-Program modes will only work with CPU lenses. When using Type D lenses, make sure you set the aperture to the smallest opening. In the landscape mode, the camera will do the opposite, set the aperture for a very small opening, creating a very long depth of field. Then it will adjust the shutter speed as necessary to achieve a proper exposure. This sharpens the background and foreground. The lens is focused at infinity, giving you a clear picture of faraway objects like mountains and landscapes. Again, point and click to become familiar with this auto exposure mode. A tip, the shutter speed can become quite slow in landscape mode, so be sure to steady your camera to avoid camera shake, which can make everything appear out of focus. The child mode is used when a fast shutter is required to take pictures of those fast-moving children. The aperture is kept smaller in order to keep their clothing and surrounding area in focus as well. The flash will fire if necessary. A tip, when shooting children, try to get down on their level. And remember, you're not paying for film, so take as many pictures as you want and delete the ones you don't like.